everybody. So this is the Stanley Parable, and I have not played this game for a very long time, and I have a mic now, so, well, not a very long time. I actually played it just about like 3 weeks ago, but we're going to hop back in, and we are going to find another ending. Alright, so apparently they're like I've always been, you know how you always pass like
This is the
you know how you always pass so the whiteboard ending, that was a very
all of
short
his
video.
co-workers were gone.
We
What could it
did
mean? Stanley decided to go to
we
the
did
meeting room.
this
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
we did the jumping out the window. We did that one. We did the button heaven. We did the confusion. But we haven't done the insanity ending, and apparently there's something called the disco
When Stanley
ending.
came to a set
So,
of two open
let's do
doors,
that one.
he entered
Those
the door on his
two.
left.
Um. Okay. I was thinking like which way is to my boss's office, cause like I just forget like a lot of the times like.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay,
Coming to a
here it
staircase,
is. I'm
Stanley
not going.
walked upstairs to his boss's office.
You can't tell me how to live my life. Oh my god, I wish I could read that. It's probably an Easter egg in there or something. I really want to know. Fire hose. Why would you put a fire hose at the bottom? Then you have to run all the way back up.
But Stanley just
it's a
couldn't
car.
do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours.
Yep.
He might be fired for that. And in such a
Yep.
competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy.
It's going.
And then something occurred to Stanley.
It's going
Maybe,
in circles.
he thought to
Oh my
himself,
God.
maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
Yeah, true.
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar.
Yep.
Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue.
I wanna get
He
in the
just hadn't
elevator.
found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled.
Yep.
This is all a dream. Oh, what a
I'm
relief
just trying
Stanley
to get
felt
everything,
to have
like,
finally
press
found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all.
Oh no, yeah,
He thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well
Just like
enjoy this
school.
while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Oh no, this making
Then
me
he
sick.
imagined himself soaring
I
through space
wanted to
on
get
a
up there.
magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he
I
had
can't
still
see
not
where I'm
woken up.
going.
How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner.
Really?
Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing
that's
and
the
thinking?
best.
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley,
Oh my
who found
God.
it particularly strange.
This
I'm
is
dreaming about a voice
best narrator
describing
ever.
me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream.
Nope, I
How
never
could it
heard
be?
him in my dream.
Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life.
Wow.
Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see
Why
him float
was
and make the magical
why
stars
is
just
the
a moment ago?
narrator so
How else would the
calm
voice
now?
explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just...
Oh no.
He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream.
Really?
So he closed his eyes gently,
Yep.
and he invited himself to wake up.
I'm getting in my...
He felt
I wanted
the
to
cool
get in the
weight of the
car.
blanket on his skin,
No, I
the
don't
press of
see
the
it.
mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up,
It's
he thought to
slowing me
himself.
down.
I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always
I can
been.
still see.
My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be
Okay,
fine.
I'm not seeing much anymore.
I am okay.
I mean, you can put it like that, but not.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me
Oh
up. My
my
name is
God.
Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Oh, all right. That was loud. That's all I
This is
care
the story
about.
of a woman named Mariella.
Oh, what? Stanley is now a girl,
Mariella
apparently?
woke up on a day like any other. She
Yep.
arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her
Oh.
place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to
How
himself.
much
and
Chipotle
then
did
collapsed
you
dead on
eat,
the sidewalk.
Stanley?
And though she would
Jeez.
soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like.
Yeah.
And in that moment, she thought to herself how
Stanley
lucky
ate
she
too much
was to be
Chipotle.
normal.
He's
I am
very-
sane. I am in control of my
having a rough day
mind.
in his stomach right
I
now.
know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the
Seeing a
meeting she
man
had scheduled for that day.
with
The
stomach
very
pains
important people
makes you
whose
feel
impressions
better.
of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life.
What?
She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body,
She didn't even call an
and then she
ambulance?
turned and ran.
Oh my god. That is... That's horrible. Mariella, how could you do this to me? What did I do to deserve that? You didn't even call an ambulance.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something?
Maybe
He
it's these
hoped it
windows.
was.
I don't see
He hoped
nothing out
very
there.
much that it was.
Those new windows that got installed were... I could see everything. So bright outside. It's like... I'm not gonna start that. I've always wondered why there's like a ladder, construction in this guy's room. Like, plus how did these guys leave even if the doors are locked? Like, did that guy get lost in the pipes or something? Is it like a Saturday or something? Did I just come to work? Do I have like memory loss? What's on the chalkboard? I really want to know.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I will do exactly that. Alright. And why is his computer still on? Well, it's not on, it just has the light. Conserve power, everybody.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
We'll say, like, stare
Feeling
at
a
these
wave
charts
of
and he,
disbelief,
like, says
Stanley
something.
decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay, so if I stare at these charts, apparently he's gonna say something. Using the slides to assure employees that everything is okay. Oh, jeez. Everyone is unique. You most of all. Alright, let's see what he says. Number of slides on this slides.
Stanley just stood there doing nothing at all. He seems to think I have nothing better to do with my time than to sit around and describe every fascinating little detail of his inability to do anything. This is why Stanley and I are on such good terms.
No more charts, please. I'm begging you. Stop, 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 stop. Okay, so that's all he says. Okay. I guess you consider that an ending. That's like...
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I will do exactly that. I'm gonna get into the executive bathroom one day. I really do. Apparently there's like a thing called an escape pod ending. There's something in there. I see that. Have I ever been in that room before? Yeah, there's red in there. It's like an actual room. It's not just like...
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
I mean, this is pretty, like, not New Age. Most of it is the New Age music is like, but like, this is good music.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward.
I always wondered why the windows close. Nobody's gonna look through that. Nobody's ever gonna look through that. Plus, like, what is even out there? Like, in the Freedom ending, it looks really nice outside, but what? Like, out the windows just looks really ugly. I wish this game had... I wish on this game you could just, I wish you could just go in any room you wanted.
Descending deeper into the building,
that would be
Stanley
awesome. There's probably a mod for that.
Peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free
There's probably
to think
a mod
for himself,
for it.
to question the nature of
It's
his
probably
job.
not like
Why did he
what you
feel
would
this
think.
now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Like, the Source engine with, like, mechanics like that, it's not built well with the Source
Stanley
engine.
walked straight ahead
Just
through
like
the
you
large
see,
door that read
when you
Mind
go
Control
into,
Facility.
when you see parts that you're not supposed to see, like, your screen gets filled up with, layered textures. All it is like, just, like, your screen is being, like, covered with layered textures. So apparently
the lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold?
I want to find if that camera
Stanley
is
thought to
actually
himself.
leading
Did
to
he
the
have the
boss's
strength
office.
to find out?
I really wonder. It might not be, so let's hope it is. Okay, yeah.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building. Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
That one right there seems like it's like really zoomed in. Why are there two duplicate pictures of the boss's office? There are duplicates. Do you see that one blue door thingy, and there's another blue door down there? Why are there duplicates anyway? I don't know why there would be duplicates. Look at what? There were duplicates right there of those like green things shining in boxes. I don't know what that
This
is. Look,
mind
every
control
two,
facility,
like,
it was too
one,
horrible to
two,
believe. It couldn't be
3,
true.
4,
Had Stanley
5,
really been under
6.
someone's
It's like a
control all
pattern.
this time? Was this the only reason he
So
was happy
weird,
with his
man.
boring job? That his emotions had been
Well,
manipulated to
it's
accept
saving
it blindly?
storage, so like I would do that too. And there's another boss mimic office. So apparently you just have to wait here until this gate opens. It's a pretty fun game to play. Like, you should... Oh, there's face punch. Is that an Easter egg? There's a face punch. There's a face punch logo right there. Oh, it opened. Alright. So, now apparently I have to press this. Uh-oh. What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? Hey! I thought something usually happened. Just everything was crazy. It's like stop every day. That's actually Secret 2014. Secret of the year every Secrets all the way. Logo secret ranges. Never give up on your secrets.
No.
Aw,
He
it
refused
stopped.
to
But the
believe
lights
it.
are still
He
there.
couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's
That's
control?
awesome.
Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't
Okay,
it?
I'm pretty sure
Was
the
it
guy
even
that
possible?
made the Easter egg
Had
is
he
called
truly
William.
spent his entire life utterly blind to
The
the
best
world?
Easter egg of all time, by the way. Like, most Easter eggs are, like, very hidden. That one is just really out there, and it's fun to find. Like,
But here
imagine
was
just
the
coming
proof,
across that
the heart of the
randomly.
operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy
That's
or
awesome,
sad or
but-
content. Walking, eating, working.
Oh, and
all of it
one of
monitored
my
and commanded
gameplays,
from
I
this
remember,
very place. And as the cold reality
is
of
it
his
so
past
dark?
began to sink in,
I remember when one of my
Stanley
gameplays
decided
for
that
the
this
countdown
machinery
ending,
would
this
never again
door
exert its
opened.
terrible power
I
over
think
another
he
human
opened
life.
it
For
just to,
he
and then
would
closed it
dismantle
just so
the
he could, like,
controls
tease
once
me or something.
and for all.
But, like, it opened. I remember seeing it opened when I went near it, like right here, it closed. I don't know why it didn't. Guess it didn't like me. Alright, but yep, that's it right now. And apparently there's no way to shut down the bomb. It's impossible. Most of the buttons don't even do anything, so. I'm just gonna stop the video here. And I see a blue light up there, and I'm really curious what is there. Alright. Bye, guys.